And we're live again today. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining day 26. All right, it's been an amazing time with you all. It's been a roller coaster, yes, but we've been coming back over and over again. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your commitment to the 31 Days Parenting Challenge. I'm happy to have you here as always. Okay, so as you already know, I am your favorite family coach. Okay, I help children and teenagers um, go through this very sensitive but most important phase of their life. All right, I help them navigate the challenges of their season, of their time. We are in different seasons. For this season, they have peculiarities with their own season. So they need the guidance, they need the mentoring, the coaching. So that is what I do, help children and teenagers get all the guidance and all the coaching that they need to navigate and thrive in this dark world. That's what I call it, in this dark world. Okay, so I keep you parents informed on all that you need to to get your journey going. All right, to be on your toes, to get your journey going, and make sure that you are on the same pace, if possible, ahead of them, ahead of whatever is going on in the society, ahead of our teenagers. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me once again. If you're not following me on Facebook, please follow me. Follow me on Instagram at A Drip of Love. And if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do that. Click on the subscription button and go to the notification bell, hit it so that you can get notifications from me whenever I post a new video. I really love and appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, so what are we talking about today? Does your preteen or teenager have a good understanding of puberty? I think this is like if you already have a preteen and you have not talked about it, so I'm talking to you directly. If you already have a teenager and you've not at least brought up the topic about puberty, yes, you are the one I'm talking to. You're the one I'm talking about. Okay, so those that still have younger children, I feel like they have an advantage, right? Because they will find a way to put themselves together and be able to systematically teach their children these things. But if you still have a teenager, if you still have a preteen, it's not late. You can introduce it. Okay, so a lot of times, so many parents feel, or so many parents are aware of only sex education, right? But you need to ask your teenagers, you need to talk to them rather about puberty, because puberty conversation is as important. Puberty education is as important as sex education. In fact, puberty conversation is a natural precursor to sex education. It is, your child needs to know about puberty, about themselves, about their body, about the changes. They need to know about it before you start bringing up the more complex conversations about sex. All right. So if you have not had this foundational conversation with them, you would notice that it becomes difficult for them to just grasp. Sex education will just come so um, ambiguous and so sudden to them, and they will not be able to get a grasp of exactly what you mean. So that's why a lot of times, even you as a parent, you find it difficult to have these conversations because they just come in like, okay, this. But that's not how it's supposed to be. Okay, there is a foundation. Puberty education is what sets the stage for a good conversation on or about sex. Yes. So, have you had this conversation? Now, you need to know some common misconceptions that your teens have heard about puberty, because friends in school, imagine, I remember when you were growing up, how during break and during conversation, everybody's talking about so many things they know, things they are not sure of. So that is what still happens in this time, right? They go to school, they discuss things. Most of this time, they are discussing with friends that are not even aware or that are not well informed. And most times when children get these things, especially when you have not given them the right information, they take it as the right information. Okay, so You need to have these conversations with them. Some parents are not even aware that there is a conversation like puberty conversation, right? It's a sad thing, but some parents are not aware. Meanwhile, some other parents on the other end, right? They do not even know what exactly is. If they know that okay, puberty is a thing, but they don't know what exactly to talk about. Now, understanding the changes of puberty lays, like I said, the groundwork for more complex conversations, because you soon start talking about sexuality, about their relationship with others, with the opposite sex, about reproductive health. You have to lay the foundation. If you're not developing at the same rate as your friends, something is wrong. These are some of the misconceptions that teenagers have out there. I have pimple and you don't have, or I have this and you don't have. My breasts are enlarged and we're at the same age and yours is just like this. They need to understand some of these things from you. Let it come from you. Let them know that these things may not happen at the same time. Let them know all the myths, all the misconceptions, and give them all the facts. Okay? Children should know what to expect so that they are not surprised or scared. Now it's two ends. All right, when things happen to them, to their bodies, they become surprised. And most of the time, it makes them a little bit withdrawn because they are confused, they are anxious, they are stressed. Nobody is talking to them. I think that is the major cause of the anxiety. Nobody is talking to them about the thing. It's just happening. Right now, I always say that when you have an experience on something as a parent, at least, is that not why we work hard as parents? Because we don't want our children to suffer the way we suffered. We want them to have a better life, right? So why is it that when it comes to finances, we try to strive to give our children a better life, but when it comes to some of these basic things, is it that we disregard it as parents? Meanwhile, at the end of the day, your children will say, "Oh, okay, you gave me a good education and everything, but you were not there. You were not there for me when I was going through this phase." Right? The Bible says that there is time for everything. There's a season to everything. There is a time. There is a season. For this, their season, it is peculiar for this. If you do not talk about puberty when you should talk about it, they will go through that phase alone. Yes, mark my word, alone. And a lot of times, especially now, I'm not trying to separate, but especially for the girls that really need to hear most of this things because of how their own emotions are heightened. They need to hear these things, especially from us parents. Do not leave it to the schools. Yes, schools will teach a reproductive system and everything. They'll teach it way in a certain way, but systematically, the teaching systematically has to come from you. Okay, your child should not hear about your girl child should not hear that very soon she's going to start developing breasts, like of which she has been seeing adult women. She has been seeing it yet, but she should not. You don't wait until she starts developing it before you start telling her. Do not wait until she starts asking you questions before you start telling her. Okay, same with the boys, right? Because if they do not hear from you, their misconceptions will come from every other place, from peers, from books, from the media, and it will not be good. Like the end result is not always good. So it keeps them informed of what to expect when you inform them about these things. Some parents use fear or control to teach their children or to get them to know that okay, this stage, this is what will happen to you. But fear is not a good teacher. Fear is not a good teacher. The lessons of fear will be quickly forgotten. So this is why you need to learn how to have good conversations with your children. As parents, conversations with your children should not be It will improve the communication between you and your child. Communication will improve. Please confirm that you can hear me. Can you hear me, please? Okay, thank you so much. Confirm that you can hear me. So it will improve the communication between you and your child. So you don't want a situation where they will find it difficult to approach you with things as sensitive as this. So I always stand on open-end communication. Get this information to them before they get it to you. Yes, before they come asking you questions, because that stage of preteen is a stage where children become more inquisitive, become more curious. You don't want that situation where they will start coming. Yes, it's good for them to be inquisitive, but let them get the right information from you first. Let them get it from you first, so that they will not go out there and be confused about it, or so that they will not go when they have subsequent questions that are very sensitive, they will not take it elsewhere. Okay, so puberty education is not just it's not just about sex, yes, and it's not just about the physical aspect of growing up. While sex education focuses on the sexual behavior, puberty focuses on the more holistic approach, while it looks at the reproductive maturation, right? Children should be taught that they should be taught everything, just the way they teach them in school, the reproductive system. You should teach them. So this is where it comes to the fact that parents are not well equipped. Like, we're not well equipped. We do not prepare ourselves. We do not equip ourselves for these things. Parenting is not just, it's not Coke and Fanta like beans and rice. It is hard work. It is work. So if you don't take your time to put in the work, then you will just be relaxed and everything will just be going. Before you know it, that season of that child's life is gone. If you miss out on the first 8 years, right, which is the childhood, you cannot get back those years, because there are certain skills, certain things that must be developed in that child at that stage. Then if you miss out on the preteen age from 8 to 12, you may not be able to get back. It becomes more difficult to teach them certain things. This is why everyone has to sit up. We have to sit up. I've mentioned it before that we have to be on our toes. We have to be on our toes. So now you need to teach them about all these things about their sexuality, yes, about how they are going to soon get produce sperms, how they are going to start having ejaculation and all those things. The females need to teach them about their menstrual cycle systematically. It's not just to say blood will come out and this and that. What does it mean? A lot of us did not even know what ovulation meant until we grew up, right? Because some of our parents were not informed, and then we started reading about it, started learning about it. But we don't want our children, like I said, you're working hard to help them financially, work hard to help them emotionally, socially, psychologically, physically. Every area our approach as parents should be holistic. It should not just be for providing food for them, for providing shelter. It should not just be based on provision. What else are you providing apart from physical provisions? What else are you offering them? It is important. What else are you offering them? So that they will not pass through the phases alone. Now, like I said, bridge the gap by educating yourself, equip yourself, get facts. Now, a lot of us got like different kinds of parents, right? The ones that do not even know what it means, ignorant. The ones that are aware but they don't care. The ones that are aware but I don't know why they are shy or afraid to talk about it. The ones that they don't have the right fact, or they know the right fact, but they will never give their children the facts, right? A child is coming to you and asking you sensitive questions, and you're just telling them myths, or just telling them things that are not even right, things that are not even true. Okay, so we need to get our facts right and tell them the truth, because if you don't tell them the truth and they eventually find out that you're not telling them the truth, that is the end of that deep conversation or deep relationship with you. Anything deep that they think about, anything sensitive that they think about, it is straight to another person, or they will find out for themselves. They will find a way to get the information themselves. Okay, I've had a lot of adults say they started watching pornography, right? Because they were very curious to see certain things about the male feature. They were very curious, and most of them, people that I knew personally, they started from like 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes, I got a news recently of a child that was watching pornography at 7. This is not a myth. This is not just, this is facts. Like at 7, who introduced it to him? How did he get to know about it? They are very curious. They will find out. So make sure you are honest with them. Okay. Now, puberty is the stage where you need to teach them about the physical changes. All right. That okay. Before they start even increasing in height, before they start developing increased awareness of themselves, before they start understanding that there's something. Now, if you speak with a lot of teenagers, when I have conversations with my teenagers, we talk about having crushes, right? Having people of the opposite sex that they just like, that they like more than the normal level of likeness. So they will tell you 15, 12, 13, they have crushes. They have people that, boys, they are mates that they just see and they just like the person differently. So it has to do with their hormones. How are you preparing? In fact, I'm not even asking how are you. How have you prepared them for it? They need to know before time that these things will happen. They will begin to feel these emotions. They will begin to have a certain life. In fact, their sexual desire will increase. You need to break it down, explain to them why it is increasing, why they are having attraction and feelings towards the opposite sex. So many of us just grew up and started, in fact, most of us as parents, right? We just started educating ourselves, started teaching ourselves. We don't want that for our children. We want to prepare them before time. Otherwise, what legacy are we leaving? Is it only legacy of buildings and houses that we're leaving for them? I think in one of our challenges, I shared a story, a real life story, right, of someone that left a comment on social media. He said they were together, he and his siblings, and his dad just walked in, right? And then everyone started moving out one after the other. He said someone that has not been paying attention to them suddenly, because he's retired, he now has all the time. Let that not be our story. Let it not be your story as a parent, that it is when you are retired that you finally have time to have some of these things. At that point, it is too late. I talked about seasons of life. Okay, they should understand the physical changes. They should understand the reproductive maturation. Now, emotional aspect is also part of puberty. The mood swings, the heightened emotions. In fact, most of us, because we do not even know about it, we don't even understand that when we start having, there's a certain stage of teenagehood that they call individuation, where they want to be isolated. They want to be independent, autonomous. In fact, they want to be in control too. So that is why there is a different way of dealing with teenagers, giving them some form of control, but in a controlled way. So if in that period of individuation you are not careful as a parent, that is when you start having strife with them. You start quarreling, and they will talk back at you, right? And most times as parents, we do not understand it. We add more to it. What they call add pepper to this, add salt to pepper, or add pepper to something. We increase heighten the whole emotional phase, hormonal changes and emotional changes that they are having, and they begin to rebel. They begin to be rebellious, right? That is the consequence of not knowing or not understanding your child. So this is a conversation. This is a very long conversation. We do not have all the time to talk about it, but I'm sure that you've been able to get the major reasons or the gaps you need to fill, and you need to start early. If you have missed out as a parent, you've not started early, you can't start if you still have children and teenagers. But if you don't have children and teenagers, unfortunately, this is not for you. Your time is already gone. But if you still have children and teenagers, and you still have younger children, you are at a very good place, on a very good place to start this conversation. So I'm hoping that you go back, try to educate yourself, try to get the right facts and start it. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.